Okay, this is number 35 on 1.4. It says find all real solutions of the quadratic equation. It doesn't tell you how it wants you to solve it. So you can solve by quadratic formula or completing the square. I look at this one and I notice that 3 and 6 have a common factor of 3, and that when you divide it out, you'll get a 2x for your middle term, so it's even. So completing the square is probably easy for this one. And quadratic formula may or may not be more difficult. 6, 3, 5, those are kind of big numbers, but not too bad. So I'm going to go ahead and do it by completing the square. If you want to do it by quadratic formula, then that's perfectly fine. I think both of them will be okay. So first thing I'm going to do is move the 5 over. You get 3x squared plus 6x equals 5. Then factor out the 3 and leave your blanks. 3 times x squared plus 2x plus blank equals 5 plus 3 times blank. Okay, so remember to multiply the 3 times the blank when you add it to the right side. Then take your middle number divided by 2. 2 divided by 2 squared gives you 1 squared, which is 1. 1 goes in that blank, 1 goes in that blank. Then you're going to factor your trinomial, so you have a 3. X squared plus 2x plus 1 is x plus 1 squared. You can also look at the number that you squared. That's what goes right here. And then you have equals 5 plus 3, so that's 8. Divide both sides by 3. X plus 1 squared equals 8 over 3. Square root both sides. X plus 1 equals plus or minus the square root of 8 over 3. Add or subtract the 1 over, square root of 8. Let's fix that. Square root of 8 over 3. Subtract the 1, so you get x equals sorry about that. You get x equals negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 8 over 3. Okay, so you can't leave your answer like this with the square root in the denominator. So we're going to rationalize it. So you get x equals negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 8 times 3. Here, we'll multiply it by root 3 over root 3. So that's the square root of 24 over 3. Okay, still not an acceptable answer here. You have a perfect square left in there. So you have negative 1 plus or minus 24 is, we know, 8 times 3, which is 4 times 2. 2 times 2, so you have plus or minus 2 root 6 over 3. Okay, so this answer is fine. You can leave it like that. The back of the book went ahead and combined your fractions, so this answer is perfectly fine. It's simplified. It's great. The back of the book, here, we'll come up here. The back of the book got a common denominator for the 2, so you have x equals negative 3 over 3 plus or minus 2 root 6 over 3, and then combined them, I think. So negative 3 plus or minus 2 root 6 all over 3. So that's okay. Any one of these 3 answers would have been fine. Probably you wouldn't have done this one, but this first one right here is fine, and this one right here is fine. So either one of those, you probably, if you were going to get a common denominator, you probably would have gone ahead and put it over the whole thing. So both of those are correct.